It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hey, good Monday morning to you. Hope your weekend was fantastic. Hope it felt longer than it was. That's not normally how it goes, but I hope it did for you this weekend. We'll talk about the weekend coming up. First, though, an unprecedented presidential race just got even crazier. With just about 4 weeks until the Democratic National Convention, they do not know who their candidate will be. In a shocking move, the current president of the United States bowed out of the race yesterday in a letter that he posted to X. President Biden gave in to mounting pressure from those within his own party who pointed to his poor debate performance against Trump and questioned his cognitive abilities and what they thought were his decreasing chances to win against Trump, and pressured him to get out of the race. Yesterday, he did so. The logical next candidate is Vice President Kamala Harris, but it's not a done deal yet. She could be brushed aside to make way for somebody that the Democrats think have a better chance in the general election, which is now a little more than 2 months away. They're calling it what could be a mini primary. An open convention. I mean, this sort of thing hasn't happened since 1968. So we're living in history-making times. It
will not be Kamala Harris. It will not be.
You don't think so?
I'm sure of it. She's been a wallflower for too long. They don't feel like they can win with her. If they felt like they could win with her, if they were excited about her, we would already know it.
Well, I just don't know who else it's going to be. I mean, she's never gotten a single vote in a primary. I mean, she was in the 2020 race and had to bow out before the first primary, before the first caucus.
I'm just saying, if the DNC was going to pick her, they already would have. Does that make sense? It would have come at the same time. It would have been like President Biden. It's the Biden delegates that will choose who the candidate is at the convention. Yeah. Anyway, This is just my guess. I don't know. We'll see, but that's my guess. The Missouri woman, this is interesting. The Missouri woman whose murder conviction was overturned after she served 43 years in prison. What? 43 years in prison for a crime that she did not commit. She is now out of prison. 64-year-old Sandra Hemme left the prison Friday, reunited with her sister, her daughter, and her granddaughter. She did not speak with reporters, unfortunately, but did go visit immediately her dad, who is suffering from kidney failure. A judge recently ruled there was evidence of her actual innocence, but Missouri's attorney general fought her release. She'd been convicted of stabbing to death a library worker in St. Joseph in 1980. Here's what complicated the sentence, though. She actually got in trouble while she was in prison. She had a 10-year sentence in 1996 for attacking a prison worker with a razor blade, and a 2-year sentence in 1984 for offering to commit violence. Hemme had been known as the longest held wrongly incarcerated woman in the U.S., according to her legal team at the Innocence Project. That is a crazy story.
It is.
Honestly, I'm glad she went to see her dad. That is the most important thing. But I wish she would have talked to reporters, because that is absolutely insane what she just went through.
Well, I'm looking forward to the Netflix documentary on this.
It's going to happen.
Because there's a lot involved with this case. Part of the story is that a police officer who's deceased is the one who actually committed the crime and framed her for it. Yeah. She was convicted twice, though, of this. I'd like to know what exactly the Missouri Attorney General is fighting when he doesn't want her released. I'd like to know what he has, you know what I mean? What his argument is.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that we don't know about this. And the attacking someone with a knife or a razor blade in prison. that would lead one to believe that maybe you're capable of doing some other stabbing. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's wild.
The judge seemed pretty certain, freeing her immediately.
Right. And saying that there's evidence of her innocence, which that's not a common, you don't hear that often at all. I mean,
It's
that's
just not guilty, but innocence is a different thing. Yeah. But the state is fighting it. So I don't know. It's interesting. We'll hopefully there's more to come on this. The Springfield area, meanwhile, lost a hero over the weekend. Jack Hamlin, the final veteran from World War II from Springfield, passed away at the age of 102. Wow, what a life. Mr. Hamlin was honored just last month in Springfield. The mayor gave him the key to the city and declared June 6th as Jack Hamlin Day. Mr. Hamlin was a D-Day veteran who, imagine his job during D-Day. He was pulling injured soldiers from the water and then get to a hospital ship while he was in the U.S. Coast Guard. Wow. He was a graduate of Central High School and Drury University and lived in Springfield for most of his life. American hero. And sadly, the last World War II era veteran from our area. The development, this is an ongoing saga. The development proposed for the northwest corner of Sunshine and National is still up in the air, not only when it comes to court cases and zoning and rezoning, but also in what it could end up looking like. The proposal. The developers say they still aren't certain what they hope will sit on that corner, which sees some of the highest traffic volume in all of the city. The proposal had been different things at different times over several months, from a 5-story apartment building with retail on the ground floor to pickleball courts and a food court, food trucks. And now who knows? We're not sure. They're rethinking it. Some residents, as you know, of University Heights have been fighting the development, concerned about traffic and other issues. The Springfield Planning and Zoning Commission will take up the case once again on August 8th, a new rezoning issue. Then the city council is expected to hear from the public on September 9th. That could be a very contentious, loud meeting before voting happens, or is supposed to happen by the city council. We'll see on September 23rd. So on it goes.
Yes, on it goes. Greene County just handed out, speaking of on it goes, Ethan.
Yeah.
Greene County just handed out more federal COVID money to 29 local small businesses, this time adding up to more than $300,000. Valerie Abbas Salon in downtown Springfield received the highest amount, which she's great. That's exciting for her. Just more than $20,000. Followed by the Elite Pain Management, right at $20,000. Greene County received nearly $57 million in federal COVID money at the outset, and it must all be given out by the end of this year. It's interesting. I actually thought that deadline had passed, but it has not. So
yeah, there's still money to give out, and God bless the businesses that are still in business after COVID. They made it this long.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'll be nice to get the money, but they probably could have used it a couple of years ago.
Missouri Governor Mike Parson is traveling to Belgium and the United Kingdom today. He and the First Lady are on a trip to promote Missouri when it comes to doing international business. Belgium and the UK are key trade partners for Missouri, with more than $630 million in exports between the two of them last year alone. That's amazing.
Yeah.
The governor and First Lady are scheduled to return on Friday. Big
that's
deal.
a lot of money. That took me by surprise. $630 million in trade with the UK and Belgium and Missouri. Cool.
We told you about Patrick Mahomes and his wife, Brittany, expecting baby number 3. We now know it is a girl. They announced it on Instagram. They already have a girl, one of them, named Sterling, and a boy named Bronze. So we'll see what she's going to be named. Good for them.
Steel.
So,
lead.
Girl.
We'll see what they
girl, boy, girl.
Yep. The Ozark Empire Fair starts Thursday. That's always a big time. It's the 88th year for the annual festival that highlights our area's agriculture, the family fun time, and of course, the good food. This year, the theme is Summer's Biggest Party. For a lot of folks, this will be their first look at the brand new $25 million Wilson Logistics Arena that's out there on the fairgrounds, home to the Ozarks Lunkers Arena League football team. The fair starts on Thursday and runs through August 3rd. And then the annual Price Cutter Charity Championship was played over the weekend at Highland Springs and Springfield. And sometimes stormy weather marked the tournament this year. The bigger winner was Matt McCarty. He came in at 25 under par.
Wow.
25 under par.
25 under par.
He won by. Yeah, it was. They were killing the course this week. The course was in good playing shape. They had rain a couple of days beforehand, so he ended up winning by 3 strokes. Since its inception, we told you about this. It's that Price Cutter is such a great tournament. The charity championship has raised more than $20 million for local children's charities, and we'll find out in I don't know, a couple of months. I think on Giving Tuesday is when we find out how much they raised this year. That's and cool. How they're giving it out to local charities. So that's awesome. That's usually when they do it.
All right, it's a big week. The Olympics start Friday. The big opening ceremonies will be on NBC. You can tune in for that. Then the following 2 weeks, events will be shown on the NBC network of stations.
Yeah.
I, for one, can't wait.
You can almost see everything. They almost have enough channels to see everything that's going on in the Olympics for 2 straight weeks.
Yeah, that's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, tomorrow you can donate blood and support Christian County first responders. Nixa and Ozark are going head-to-head in a little friendly competition to see which town can collect more donated blood. So in Nixa, it's Tuesday, July 23rd. That's tomorrow from 10 to 4 at North Point Church, which is on Tracker Road. So that's if you're on Team Nixa. If you're on Team Ozark, it's from 10 to 4 at the CCAD building, which is on 320 North 20th Street in Ozark.
Okay.
So there you go. Now you know, and it's a competition. So support your community. If you don't live in Ozark or Nixa, that's okay. You can pick which one you want to support and drive to one of those locations. All the donors will get a limited edition boots, badges, and bandages t-shirt honoring first responders while supplies last. They also encourage appointments. You don't have to have an appointment, but they like for you to. You can do that by contacting the Community Blood Center of the Ozarks.
Yeah, they were saying that you will like having an appointment.
Yes, that way you won't have to wait as long.
Right. If you have an appointment, you're helping yourself.
It's funny. I always feel like they move them through so quickly, but I guess the Ozark versus Nixa battle is really a wise decision because it is really busy, Yeah. Which is a good problem, but there you go.
Well, hey, if you notice a lot of people dragging this morning, it's probably because they just got home about an hour and a half ago from the Stones concert last night. What a crazy night out at Buffalo Ridge Amphitheater in Ridgedale. Man, oh man, the Stones.
Yeah, it's wild. I have not seen anything. I haven't looked either, but I need to go scroll through Facebook and see some pictures and hear some reports.
Well, I was up last night. I went to bed right after 10, but they hadn't taken the stage until about 9:50 last night. So they were just getting started when I was going
old
to bed.
Because I would be falling asleep sitting out there.
Well, a lot of people, I'm sure, were, because this is not what they normally do on Sunday night. So Monday morning is coming early for a lot of folks around the Ozarks. But hey, it's a once in a lifetime, maybe once in a lifetime. It really is.
Thing. That's cool. That's
certainly
cool.
Certainly to see the Stones here. They're in their 80s, the Stones. I mean, it's amazing to me that they're still staying up late and doing all this themselves. So if they can do it,
it's all they've ever known.
You can. Yeah. It is all they've never ever known. That's right. They don't get up until noon every day.
Yeah.
So the Stones last night. I wish we were there. We had a chance to go, but you were traveling. We were both traveling this weekend. You took the girls to a swim meet in Kansas. I then went and took.
I watched them Friday, Saturday. Then Ethan pinch hit on Saturday. We passed the baton, and I flew to Indianapolis. My flight was delayed coming home, but it was on time going out, which was good because of the meltdown on Friday with all of the software, the cyber.
Right.
Well, I was going to say cyber attack. I guess it wasn't really an attack, but
it was
the down system.
Yeah. Because you flew on Saturday. So they had it ironed out by then?
They had it ironed out by Saturday. Yeah. But, speaking of dragging all of the TSA workers, and they're so friendly, honestly, they're all very friendly, but I was like, how's it going? I feel like I'm a regular, we're like on a first name basis. And he was like, yeah, in Springfield. Yeah. He's like, I'm exhausted. And I was like, I'm sorry. I forgot about your day yesterday. Yeah. So anyway, it was a good weekend. I was in Indianapolis. Honestly, I loved it. I loved Indianapolis. I did. I walked the Central Canal. It's sort of like a river walk. Like I've been to the river walk in San Antonio. It doesn't have the same vibe at all, but it's essentially the same thing. And it was great. It was great. And then Sunday was at a church up there in Indy, and it was just a really cool place. So good times.
Cool. You were there to speak at the church Sunday morning. So
I was there to speak on Sunday morning. Then Ethan was there to cheer on the girls. I watched the first half of their meet. He watched their last half. And then the boy cheered him on too. So it was a family affair.
Yeah. We don't go to Wichita. Is that the dog? I don't go to Wichita much, but man, there's not a good drive to Wichita. I see it. I could hear it. I'm on 2-lane roads for half the 4-hour drive to Wichita.
Yeah. It's interesting because I've driven to Wichita before and I had never gone that route before. But then I was talking to all the other swim parents, and that was the way that it sent them. And that's the way that it always sends them.
Well, it was half an hour faster.
Yeah. It's just so strange because I know that I've been to Wichita in recent years, but yet it was never the suggested route until this year.
I looked at alternate routes, and none of it was interstate. So I was expecting I'd be able to stay on 44 longer or something. But man, it was just not a great drive, especially at night. I mean, head-to-head traffic.
Yeah.
So anyway, we all made it. Thank the Lord. And the girls did well swimming. They had another big meet this coming weekend. And then are we done for a while?
Well, this weekend is champs. So after champs,
then we're done.
Then we're done.
Get a little break. Okay. That'll be nice. Do they get a break, or are they going to just continue to swim laps?
Ethan, I feel like you're making fun. What's going on? I don't like it.
I'm not making fun. I'm not making fun. I'm just saying. No. I got a break from soccer. Are we taking a break from swimming?
Yeah.
Does it ever happen?
Yes. Yes, a short one.
After this? After champs?
After champs.
Okay. All right. That's what I'm asking.
Still triathlon season though, but
okay. All right. Hey, have a great week. Started out.
Listen, I just need you guys to know that my glass is half full. Mine is. I don't know about his. Well, you know what? I'm not in charge of his glass.
My glass
I can't. I'm not in charge of your glass. But
my glass left Friday at 8 a.m.
You should fill it up.
My glass left Friday at 8 a.m. and arrived back at my house at 8:30 on Sunday night.
Yeah,
so that was my weekend. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. Hey, have a great week, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
All right. Feliz Navidad, everybody.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday to you. It is July 22nd, and we are waking up with temperatures that are very comfortable, upper 50s and low 60s. So the numbers are feeling good. A hazard that I want to tell you about, though, if you haven't looked outside yet, in a few places, we've got some patchy areas of dense fog in the Ozarks. So you might need to plan a few extra minutes for that morning drive. temperatures and dew points, pretty much the same number. It's a nice cool morning. And when that happens, the temperature lowers to the dew point temperature. The result is some ground fog, and there could be some visibility issues this morning with that patchy fog, reducing visibility to about a half mile, which can slow you down on the morning drive. So a big heads up if you're heading out the door right now. If you don't have the fog, well, just enjoy the nice cool start. It is a beautiful start to the day after a fairly nice weekend. Of course, yesterday we had some of those showers and a few non-severe thunderstorms around. And today I'm expecting that we have another opportunity for a little bit of unsettled weather with some scattered activity and a few non-severe thunderstorms once again. The big headline for you for this Monday morning is that ground fog. Maybe plan a few extra minutes. If you're listening before you head out the door this morning, that would be a good idea. The overall weather setup, it's a fairly active one across the country today. We have an opportunity for some scattered showers and a couple of non-severe thunderstorms, but there's some intense weather happening down today, mainly in Texas. Portions of central Texas are going to experience some torrential rain and thunderstorms down there. There's also this frontal boundary. It's a stationary boundary, basically draped across the southeastern United States, and that's going to provide an area where showers and thunderstorms could be numerous through the day. Active weather for the Northeast, active weather for the Northern Plains, and then blazing hot out on the West Coast. So a big area of low pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere allowed us to see some of the rainfall on Sunday in the Ozarks. It's still in control of our weather pattern for the most part. We are going to see continued chances for some scattered showers and some thunderstorms. The nice thing this storm system is doing for us, though, is allowing for this cooler pattern to stick around, and we are going to be below average today. Starting out in the upper 50s and very low 60s, and will only warm today to the low 80s. It's going to be another day with below average temperatures. Great for getting out while it's not actively raining. We'll have a handful of showers and thunderstorms around later today, but this unseasonably cool weather is going to stick around through about midweek. Then by Wednesday, we start to see a ridge of high pressure build in. It strengthens. It allows temperatures to warm up even more as we head into next weekend. And then we'll probably start to see some more normal July temperatures. As we look at the forecast for the week, things are looking pretty good. High temperatures today, low 80s. I do expect about a 20 to 40% chance for some showers and thunderstorms. Again, a low in chance for some scattered activity. Really, I'm going to carry that through most of the work week. Daily rain chances in this work week's forecast, and temperatures that are inching upward. We get closer to the 90s as we head into Wednesday and Thursday, and I think that the 90s are back by the time we get to next weekend. It's kind of typical, though, for us to be in the low 90s for late July, so we won't complain about those numbers too much. We do have some very nice low temperatures ahead this week. Of course, we're waking up very comfortable this morning. Temperatures are going to stay in the 60s each night. It gets nice and cool in the evenings. We have nice cool starts in the morning, so looking pretty good temperature-wise in this forecast. But if you're trying to do any outdoor projects this week, it may just kind of be a headache because of these just occasional showers and thunderstorms that are in the forecast. No one day looks like a total washout. And the good news here is that we're not going to get too much rainfall because, we had the issues with flooding last week. Thankfully, I don't think that's a big concern for us this week, even with additional rain chances. Around the country, what's making headlines? It's dangerous heat in the western United States, with heat headlines in full effect out there. We've also got heavy rain and flooding potential for portions of the southern Rockies and the Southwest today, and then a break in the heat for the plains and the East Coast. But with that break in the heat comes the active weather that we are going to be dealing with. So really a lot going on around the country, and that goes for us here in the Ozarks as well. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. It's going to be a fun morning too, because we have our special guest, my husband Joseph, on the podcast this morning to answer the trivia question that I left last week. Good morning, Joseph.
I'm back. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. The question that I left on Friday was actually a true or false question. So you've got a 50-50 shot.
Wow, I like my odds.
This morning. Yeah, these are really good odds. And we continue to give away $20 to Scooter's Coffee every single day. So for folks that entered this question on the website, 50-50 shot this morning, you kind of know the drill. I'll let you answer the question from Friday. And then if you're up for it, I will give you a chance to help our listeners out for the question for tomorrow morning.
All right. I need some redemption. I think I missed the last couple I was on. So
Yeah, I won't pull up your record, but
thank you.
let's
Yeah.
we can just make this a fresh start.
Let's start anew.
We'll
Thank you.
start anew. You're very welcome. All right. Here is the question that I left everybody with late last week. True or false? You can estimate the temperature by counting the number of times a cricket chirps. Do you think that is true or false?
That sounds like a Farmer's Almanac type truism. I'm going to say true.
You are going to say true.
I'm going to say true.
You are correct. Congratulations.
Yes.
You were
Yes, I'm back.
Yes, he's back, everyone.
Yeah.
True statement. And how accurate is this? The people will throw some darts at that, I'm sure. But there is a relationship between cricket chirping and temperature. This is called the Dolbear's Law. So if you're ever out on a summer evening and you don't have a thermometer or your smart device and you've got to know what the temperature is, you can get relatively close by just counting the chirps. How do you do it? For 15 seconds, you allow 15 seconds. So I guess you would need a watch or a stopwatch. Count how many chirps you hear in 15 seconds and then add 40. So if you count 22 chirps in 15 seconds, you would add 40 to that number and the temperature would be roughly 62 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay. But what if there are multiple crickets?
That's where it gets a little bit tricky. I think you want multiple crickets.
You're counting everybody.
You're counting them all. Yeah.
Okay.
So if it's really hot, a lot of times you go out on those really hot summer nights and it's like going crazy. So you'd have a really high temperature. Apparently this works. We could test it.
Yeah,
if you wanted to, we should do that. I think that might be kind of fun. But some sources suggest doing this like 3 or 4 times and then getting an average of your result. And that would be closer to the temperature outside. So now you know, if you're looking for a fun activity to do with the family this evening, we'll be counting crickets.
We'll be counting crickets
in our house.
You know what we'll be doing. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. Kind of fun. And it is true. And if you want the scientific name for this, it is Dolbear's Law, the relationship between cricket chirps and temperature.
Got it. Back in the win column.
Back in the win column. Congrats to you and congrats to everyone who guessed true. All right. So are you up for taking a stab at tomorrow's question? Okay.
Let's keep it rolling.
Which of the following is a real name for a lake in South Carolina? Your options are A, Divorce Lake, B, Alcohol and Drug Abuse Lake, C, Body Dump Lake, or D, Cheating Wife Lake. This is a real name for a lake in South Carolina. Which of these is the most likely, even though they all are like totally bizarre?
Just wondering why you chose this one. You finally have me back on the show and we're talking.
Which one do you choose?
Some really dark stuff here. Is this a hint to your husband here?
No, it's not, but I
hope not.
I came across this question from a different source and I was like, I've got to use that. That is too weird because all of these are ridiculous, right?
Yes. Yes. South Carolina. What are they doing? Down
Nothing
there?
Good.
Nothing good. Let's see. I think I'm going to eliminate B. I'm going to start by eliminating B.
Okay.
Alcohol and Drug Abuse Lake. That's just too specific.
Yeah.
It's not enough fun. So, Divorce Lake, Body Dump Lake. Ooh. The other 3 though are really tough. I feel like those are good lake names. I want to go to Body Dump Lake. Just take the pontoon out on Body Dump. I'm just going to go with my gut here.
Okay.
And it sounds like a South Carolina type name to go with D, Cheating Wife Lake. It seems like some guy was reeling when he named that lake.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to name the lake.
You know what?
You're not.
Yeah.
Except it should be cheating, probably.
Cheating, yeah.
Cheating wife lake.
In apostrophe wife lake. Yes.
All right. So you're going
That's
D.
my answer. Yeah.
Okay.
Cheating wife lake.
All right. Well, I can't tell you right now if you're correct, but I will let everyone know tomorrow morning. So tune in tomorrow on Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. And I will have the answer to this question that I know everyone is just waiting on the edge of their seat to find out.
Yeah, I can't wait, but I hope you're not like sending me a message with this question.
I'm not.
Find out.
I'm not. I just, like I said, I was like, this is too bizarre. I've got to go with this one, but I'll let everyone know the real answer tomorrow. Thank you for waking up extra early to kick off the new work week with me. And thanks everybody for listening this morning. I sure appreciate it. If you would like to, you can go to wherever you listen to your podcast and you can leave a review. That's wherever you get your podcast. Thanks so much to our sponsors, Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. I'll catch you tomorrow.